In this video, I'm going to cover the difference between destructive editing and non-destructive editing with adjustment layers. So this is a follow along practice video. I've included the link in the description below for you to download for free the image or images that I'm using.
Yes!
If you like this video, make sure you whack it, smack it, and crack-a-lack it. Now, Photoshop keeps the destructive adjustments separate from the non-destructive adjustments. That's why all the adjustments up in the menu bar for image adjustments, these are all destructive edits, which means just what it says. It's going to kind of degrade your image when you apply them, save them. You can never really undo them in an easy way that doesn't alter your image quality. The good thing is you have all of these controls as adjustment layers. Adjustment layers can be found right over here under adjustments. If you don't see yours, go to window and just put a check mark beside adjustments. All of these little icons, if you hover over them, brightness and contrast, levels, curves are the exact same ones as over here. Brightness, contrast, levels, curves. You have a few extra ones over here that are not over here, but that's okay. And you can actually access this list at the bottom of your layers panel. If you go down to the black and white circle, toggle it open, you'll see you have brightness and contrast, levels, curves, but then you have a few other additional adjustment layers that you do not have at the very top. But I like these visual icons because I don't have to open up a sub menu. They're visually there and they're pretty easy to recognize. Like the brightness and contrast looks like a sun. The levels looks like the histogram. So let's revert this image back to its original. Go to File and Revert. So once it's reverted back to its original file, let's add a brightness and contrast adjustment layer. Now notice what it did. I didn't get a floating dialog box that I had to move out of my way. Instead, it loaded the brightness and contrast adjustments right here in the properties panel. So you have the same adjustments. Here's the brightness, here's the contrast, there's the legacy option, there's the auto. And remember, I said generally always click auto first. See what Photoshop thinks. Remember, it uses an artificial intelligence to figure out the best possible adjustment based on its hundreds of thousands of images that it's analyzed. And based on this, I think it did a really good job, not even knowing that it's a leaf. So how do you see the before? Well, instead of the preview box, you have this little eyeball icon. Just click the eyeball on and off. Wow, that really is dark and dull, right? And notice what happens. This eyeball is connected to this eyeball. But you can also toggle on and off to see the adjustment layer. That's the key word, adjustment layer, because this adjustment is now separated from the background and it's on its own layer, and it comes with a layer mask.
Nice.
Now the interesting thing about this is there is no cancel button because it's automatically applied to this layer. I don't have to apply it. I don't have to click OK. It's just done. It just happens. But if I want to reset this, just click on this icon and it resets everything that you did. But I really like the auto, so I'm gonna click auto just so I feel like I had some creative control. Maybe I'll make the teeny bit brighter there. And now when I save this, and let me go ahead and save this. I'll go up to File, Save As. It converted the JPEG to a PSD because it has a layer in it. Because remember, JPEGs are flattened files. But .psd documents, which are Photoshop documents, that's the native file in a Photoshop document, lets you save up to 4,000 layers. And it's going to say the format is now Photoshop. It's saving all my layers, and it's saving this color profile, which sRGB is perfect for online web use, monitor use, etc. I'm just going to click Save. I've already saved this because I've already done it. But I'm just going to hit Replace, and it's going to replace it. Now watch this. When I close this, and then I pop back in Bridge, and I see my JPEG file, and I see my PSD file. And if you want to look at them side by side, select the first one, hold the Command or Control key, select the second one, and hit Command or Control B. It will load them full screen side by side so you can see the edit you've made. X out of that. I'm going to come back to just this one, double click it to open it, and look what happened. It opened my image with my adjustment. So I can say, ooh, I think I want to reset that adjustment and redo it a bit because I want a different look, a bit more contrast, which means you have forever editability when you save as adjustment layers. So remember, to adjust the brightness and contrast of an image, in the menu bar, select Image, Adjustments, Brightness and Contrast, and there you can adjust the brightness slider to change the overall brightness of the image. Adjust the contrast slider to increase or decrease the contrast. Click OK, and then the adjustments will appear only on the selected layer. To perform the same tasks, but to add an adjustment layer, in the Layers panel, you just select an image layer that you want to affect with the adjustment, and you can go to the bottom of the Layers panel or to the top where the icons are and choose the brightness and contrast adjustment layer. A new adjustment layer will appear in the layers panel above the image layer you selected. This adjustment layer will only affect the layers below it. The properties panel opens automatically, displaying the controls for this adjustment. Now, different kinds of adjustment layers present different controls in the properties panel. In later videos, I'm going to cover the hue saturation adjustment layer and the black and white adjustment layer. All of these adjustment layers allow you to customize your image in the way that you want. If you like this video, make sure you whack it, smack it, and crack-a-lack it.
Yes!
Hey, what are you still doing here? It's over. Actually, all kidding aside, I hope this video helped, and if it did, consider subscribing. I like subscribers.
That's awesome! What? You just took one in the jugular, man! Whoa! Yes! Oh my god, I did! This is...
Hey, you stayed to the end. You know what that means? You're awesome. I'm talking about you. Now get out of here.